preparing for us to go live.
A moment. Let me pick another thing to hold the phone.
Greetings, family. Sister Shanice in the house. I hope you are well. I hope you have risen in power and that you have risen in strength. We have got a really interesting show lined up for you today. As you can see, we've got our guest who's just settling in the house with us today. I'm going to be allowing her to introduce herself to you in a very, very short while. So I'm just waiting for us to come up live so that I can grab a copy of the link where I am. Yes, I'm plagued with a poor bandwidth, but I'm certainly not going to let that get in the way of today's show. So it is Wednesday. That means it's the Sister Shanice show. It's 8 p.m. Well, it's 8 minutes past 8 now. Apologies for the slight late start. But yeah, how has your strong been? I hope it's been great. Please do let me know in the chat how things are for you wherever you may be in the world. So I'm just going to grab the link. And while I'm grabbing the link, let me go over to our special guest today and ask our Sister Brenda to introduce herself to you. Welcome, my beautiful Sister Brenda Katushemererwe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Greetings, everybody. Thank you for having me. I am so happy. My name is Brenda Katushemererwe, aka Alina, from Uganda. Uganda is found in East Africa, for those who may not know. And I am a woman who loves to see African progress. I'm a woman who loves to see women rising up and contributing to our world. And right as I stand here, I am so happy to be hosted on this magnificent and great platform for Sister Shanice. And Sister Shanice, thank you for making this, because we are seeing a lot of women these days coming up and making great creations and inventions, and such a platform and a media like this really is a witness and a testimony that our women are doing their best to contribute to our world. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege and an honor to have you back on our show. Family, if you've been with us for a while, you know, you may have met our beautiful Sister Brenda before. She was running for presidency the last time round, but, you know, she has been doing some incredible work out there in Uganda. And we're going to be talking about some of the works that she's been doing in Uganda. But, you know, maybe some of us have never visited Uganda before. Tell us a little bit about your country. If we were to come there as tourists, for example, you know, give us an idea of what the country is like, what we're likely to see, and the impressions we're likely to go away with.
Well, Uganda is a landlocked country. That's something everyone should know. But that kind of statement doesn't mean that we are really surrounded by barriers that would stop people from coming in. Uganda is a great destination with great weather, with a great climate, and great food. All kind of organic food that you would like in the world, you'll find it here. Fruits and vegetables and, you know, name it. And Uganda is very hospitable. Most of the Ugandan people you will meet on your way, whether you know them, whether you don't know them, they will welcome you and they will treat you like a friend. And I think a lot of the people who have visited Uganda can testify that they have reached maybe Kampala and they met a stranger and the stranger took them around and showed them around, you know. And though definitely there's going to be incidences where people meet wrong people or there are always wrong elements in the society, but generally Uganda is a place you would like to go to. If you're a woman, if you're a man, you're going to feel safe being here. And definitely you have a lot to experience: the mountains, the national parks, the valleys and you know, there's every kind of life, every kind of feature that we would like to look at in Uganda. And the other thing about Uganda is that we have very many tribes. We have tribes from the eastern part of Uganda, from the western, from the northern, and the central. Different tribes, but still loving people who work together, who speak. Sometimes we speak the same language. Like if we are in Kampala, you will find us all speaking Luganda, but we are tribes from different parts of the nation. So that makes us a diverse people who are still very connected. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, it's such great news when we hear, you know, about the harmony that exists among us as a people, because as you know, the media tends to just focus on our disunity. But here you are just telling us really about the beautiful harmony that exists across the different nations there. And so, you know, tell us about the different nations, a little bit about the culture and the language of each of them.
For example, I would just without going so far, I focus on the Western Ugandan culture. So you're going to find Batoro, you'll find Banyankore, you'll find Bachiga, you'll find Banyoro. Like I am mentioning these different tribes, but if you come and meet them, you will find that they are sharing very many loanwords. They can understand each other without having to speak the same language. They can still understand each other. So there's a big similarity in the kind of language that we speak, even if we are different. The food we eat is the same. Sometimes the customs and the norms and, you know, like marriage ceremonies, if you come and witness what we do, it's almost the same. So at the end of the day, there are just small differences, very small differences that are not even supposed to divide us, but are supposed to unite us. So, like the Baganda culture, because you know Kampala is the capital city of Uganda, so everyone has gone to Kampala probably to work, to do business or to study. Like most of the Ugandan tribes are able to speak Luganda, and now that means by speaking the language of Luganda, you're also able to adopt some things from the culture, the Baganda culture. So you'll find that girls from different parts of Uganda are able to dance the Chiganda dance because they have lived in Kampala and they have experienced the Chiganda culture. So that's the beauty of diversity. And like I usually say that tribes were not supposed to divide us. They were supposed to give us this beauty in diversity and contribute to all of the great things we want to see, because some cultures are very good at cultivation, planting food, others are good at cattle grazing, others are good at cooking. Like there's always something to learn from the culture in your neighborhood. And there's always something to admire. There's also some strength from a different culture that you need. So that's how we know that Ubuntu, that's how you know that this is how Ubuntu is supposed to be, because we need each other. And I think previously, like in those past days, these tribes used to survive like that. Like you would go to the cattle grazing community and get milk, and they would come to you and get a bunch of banana. And you see and know that these two tribes are only able to survive if they are living in harmony with each other, because they depend on each other. And that's truly what Ubuntu is about.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. And, you know, if we look back into our history, we will see that, you know, this is how we did survive, you know, and it was mainly, it probably originally started as families. So you'd have the family that were known to be the experts or the specialists in pottery. You'd have the families that were the experts, as you say, in agriculture, you know, all the different families that grew into huge clans. You know, it's just in their DNA, what they're naturally, you know, good at. And yeah, we would trade with each other, as you said. And then the trade expanded. to the point where we would be trading with each other overseas,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And so if I got some commodity you needed, because you said Uganda's a lot landlocked area. And so you might want some fish. So then you would trade with your brothers and sisters that were in the coastal regions, and you would exchange, you know, the pottery or the agricultural produces for the fish that they had. And yeah, you know, that's the way I agree it probably was before, you know, our slight different dialects was used to divide us. Because as you said, there's so much similarities in the language. It's just a different dialect, probably, but you know, it's been used to separate us. But I'm liking what you're saying about Uganda. It sounds like Uganda, you know, I think like the Gambia, you know, has managed somehow to be able to respect each other's culture, to be able to celebrate and appreciate each other's culture. And that is beautiful. Oh, so we've got that to look forward to if we come to Uganda. And you've got some particular species from the animal kingdom as well, haven't you, that we might want to see if we go to Uganda? Tell us about the animal kingdom and how you look after it there, because there are many countries, especially in Europe, that hardly have any animals because, you know, they've been driven to extinction. But not the case in Uganda. What are the species that you still have that we would be able to see if we were to visit Uganda?
First of all, you have heard about the Ankole cattle, the longhorn, and you may meet cows wherever you are, but you're going to find the longhorn cattle in Uganda, and specifically in Western Uganda and the northern. And this cow is supposed to be like regalia for some of the tribes of Uganda. It's like royalty when you show it to people who know what it means. When you hear what they say, like if you meet a person from that tribe where they revere the cattle, which is longhorn, they'll even start singing to it. They'll even start, yeah, they will start speaking to it. They will start speaking life to it, like long live. So you know that these people are very much tied to this domestic animal, which is supposed to provide them with food, milk. But there is so much more. There's something deeper about having this animal in the home. So, like, a home is not complete without this longhorn cattle. And that's all part of culture. And it's not just only part of culture, but it's also part of spirituality. So our spirituality goes that deep and can be explained in the kind of culture that we have and also the animals that we keep at home. Then when you visit the national parks where wild animals are kept, you're definitely going to find a mountain gorilla. And there are so many animals, lions and elephants, and today I was reading an article, and there is an animal which is like they are saying the population has increased. So Uganda is doing its best to preserve wildlife, and there are many laws which protect wildlife. And we definitely, the types of animals we have here are very well protected, and they are increasing in number. So if you're visiting Uganda, first and foremost, you're very sure to meet the mountain gorilla, and you're going to face to face like this, you know? And I think it's something to be proud of, because a nation that has been able to protect its wild species is a nation, is a nation that is like it is safe from damage and environmental degradation. So we can be proud of that. And when you can think about all the bad things which are happening, but there's still some good which is happening, and we are thankful and proud of that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, that's beautiful to know that you have such a wonderful, vibrant animal kingdom there that's protected, that you can get up close to as well. Oh, it's beautiful. So, from what we're hearing, I love it. I'm loving Uganda. you know, the spirit of the people, the unity, the togetherness, you know, despite the challenges that exist, that we know exist. I want to talk about some of those challenges in a little while. But before we do, I just want to welcome our audience as well. Rise up to everybody in the audience. You've been hearing from our special guest today, Sister Brenda. Please pronounce your surname for me, Sister Brenda.
Katushemererwe. Brenda Katushemererwe.
Brenda Katushemererwe.
Yes.
You've been here, our beautiful sister, Brenda Katushemererwe. And we're going to be having a really interesting conversation with her, because this is a sister who has done so much in Uganda. And if we were able to replicate her across the country, across the continent, what a better place it would be, I'm telling you. And you'll know why I say that in a little while when you start hearing about some of the things that she's been doing. So I just want to welcome everybody in the audience. Drop us a message in the chat. Let us know that you are there. So let's see who we've got in the house. Oh, we've just lost our sis. I'm sure she'll be back in a little while. Rise up, Brother Kwame Oboje is in the house. Welcome. Great to have you in the house. He's rising us up. Sister Betty is in the house. Hotep, back at you, Sister Betty. Welcome. Glad to have you in the house. Sister Karen's in the house as well. Great to have you in the house, Sister Karen. And love the conversation that's going on between Sister Betty Karen and Brother Kwame Oboje. Sister Karen, she's watching us from the US, the Dutchess County in US. Great to have you here. We've also got something going a bit funny with your computer screen, sister. Yeah, there we go. We're getting you back again. Okay. Karen says, I love this platform. Great presenters. And also, Sister Shanice is always well educated on recent activities affecting the B1 people. Yeah, we are B1, Black first, beautiful first, brilliant first people. Yes, indeed. Rise up. Lovely to have you in the house, Sister Karen, and all. Want to rise up? Sister Betty was saying that I would love to visit Uganda. There you go, Sister Brenda. You have sold Uganda not only to me but also to Sister Betty as well. Brother Kwame says, plus my colleagues. Oh, there you go, Sister Betty. You are welcome. Okay, Kwame's saying, let's go to Ghana as well. That's Kwame's part of the woods. We're not forgetting Ghana, Brother Kwame. We had our beloved Elder Echaba Sebo on last long, and you know, it was all about Ghana on the last show. And we have Bino Mugashi. Jonathan in the house. Welcome. I think that's a new name. Are you a first time?
I know him. He's from Uganda. That's a brother from Uganda. Welcome, Jonathan.
Welcome, our brother from Uganda. Great to have you in the house. We've got Stephen Ashingwiri, watching us.
That's my dad.
Your dad. Oh, that's wonderful. Welcome, Ashingwiri. Great to have you in the house. Brother Kwame is concurring with you. Brother Kwame is saying, Sister Brenda is so right. Uganda is well known for her animal kingdom, such as monkeys, elephants, hyenas, ostriches as well. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Please continue to look after the animal kingdom for the world. You know, don't let outsiders come in and use your animals as game. Please don't, you know, sell off your land to outsiders, because they will hunt your animals to extinction. We've seen this pattern of behavior all around the world. Welcome, Dora Vale. Good to have you in the house. Clarence, great to have you in the house as well. Brother Anthony, great to have you in the house. Great. And he says, yeah, Abby told me. Now, hey, that used to be Abby Toomey, I think. Yeah, anyway, let me not guess there, but we did have a kind of different version of YouTube with a similar name to that. That I tried to sign up to at one time. So welcome in the house, each and every one of you. Brother Anthony Fahal as well. Peace and love to each and every one of you. We've got a really interesting show, as I said, lined up for you today. We've got our sister Brenda, all the way from Uganda. And she's already given us a flavor of what Uganda is like. And we are loving, you know, what we are hearing. And I've got so many beautiful images, and I'm going to be sharing some of those images with you in a very short while. But we're ready to go. Please do drop your messages, your comments in the chat. Let us know where in the world you're viewing us from. Also, you know, if you want any big ups, you know, if you've got something that you're promoting, let me know, and I'll in the chat, and I'll certainly try and pick it up. And in case you're wondering what this book here is all about, for those of you who are new and you don't know, this is my latest book. It's called Hidden in the Shadows of Ancient Britain, an Erased African History Restored. And you can get that book on Amazon. If you want to email me for more information about the book, my email address is down the side there. You can email me, okay? And I'm actually preparing for Black History Month, which is in October here in Britain. I'm preparing to do a book reading. I'm going to be reading my book over about 10 sessions during Black History Month, and I'll be capturing the recording to put together an audio. And if you want to be part of my audience by next Wednesday, you will know exactly what you need to do in order to be part of that audience. So I know that there are some of you who maybe are just too busy to pick up the book and read it. So I'm going to be reading the book. Every chapter in the book, I'm going to be reading it, and you can attend each of the sessions. So if you want to know the builders of Stonehenge, if you want to know about some of our ancient kings and queens of Britain, if you want to, basically, this history that I've written, okay, actually gives us as Africans back our ancient history in Britain. There are many of us that didn't even know, were totally unaware that we had a presence in Britain prior to the Windrush. Well, I've uncovered archaeological, DNA, genetics, anthropological, documented evidence, indisputable, irrefutable evidence that proves that we have, as Africans, were the original and first people of Britain, and we have been in the country for at least 44,000 years. Now, the British, they tend to collapse time, so the likelihood is that we've been there for much, much longer. Now, this is quite a revelation, because we didn't learn any of this in school, college, or university. And I want the information to get out there long after I've gone. That's why I've taken the trouble to put it in the book. So please do get the book if you're able to do so. If you prefer to hear me read the book to you, then from next week, you'll get information about how you can join my audio reading sessions. Okay, so yeah, keep it locked for more information. Okay. I've been getting a phenomenal response from you, our wonderful, wonderful audience, about the book, and I hope that you continue to enjoy. Anyway, let me go back over to my guest now. Sister Brenda Katushemererwe, also known as Elena, is a presidential hopeful, and as a sister, she knows, just like you, our wonderful audience and regular subscribers to this channel and visitors to this site, know our liberation starts with us. Our liberation is not going to be coming to us by any outside forces. There's no mythical image or God or savior that's going to come out of the sky and do for us what we have been fully equipped as human beings to do for ourselves. And there aren't going to be any leaders that are serving foreign interests that's going to come and do for us what we must do for ourselves. So we can't be looking to any foreign masters. We can't be looking to any of our leaders that are serving foreign interests. We can't be looking for any mythical savior from out the sky to come and save us. We have got to save ourselves as the people. And this is why what we do at a grassroots level is so, so important. The alliances that we build, the partnerships that we build, the work that we do on the ground for our people, the networking that we do between Africa and the Caribbean and Africa and those of us in Europe, building these alliances is critical, you know, for us to be able to move forward and develop as a global African family. And our beautiful sister is a testimony of, you know, what it takes, and an example, a leading example for all of us to be able to take some leaves out of her book to see what it takes to be able to do for others that we would want to have done for ourselves. So family, keep it locked, okay? Now, I did have a presentation, but my broadband is so slow. What I'm going to try and do is bring up some pictures and then invite our beautiful sis to just tell us some stories about each of the pictures. But before we do, I'm sure there's a story behind why our sis decided that she needed to be working with the people at a grassroots level. So please introduce to us the works that you do, Sister Brenda, at a grassroots level.
Thank you so much once again, Sister Shanice. Your question is, you want to know what drives me to do the kind of work I do at the grassroots level. And I would like to take us back to the origin of the African child. When you look at me right here and you're telling the audience that I am a presidential hopeful, probably someone may not understand the story behind my inspiration and work, and why I am here, and why I am daring to do the things which scare a lot of people, and thinking I am a woman. I was born in a typical upcountry home in Bushenyi in Uganda, and I grew up as a child of a clergyman. My dad was a church clergy, and he used to be transferred like every 3 years. He would be transferred from this one place to the next and to the next and to the next. So I grew up in church houses, in the village setup, what they call rural Uganda. And life there is a bit different from children who grew up in the cities, because you grow up fetching water on your head, fetching firewood from the forest, waking up every day to go to the garden and dig, and still being able to run on barefoot to school. And that's the kind of life that shaped the kind of person I am. So I am clearly a very, very well-informed person of Uganda who has faced most of what I think can be called the suffering of the Ugandan people.
Oops, we just lost you there.
So, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
That's okay, you're back.
So this story of mine is a very big inspiration to the work I do. So every time I meet people who would advise me otherwise, I tell them, you cannot advise me because I'm already advised by the life I lived as a child. And it tells me that where we come from should not determine where we are going. And if we suffered in the past, it shouldn't be the reason for our suffering in the future. We have everything it takes for us to change our story, to turn the tide, and to make great changes that the world hasn't seen. And I was also following the example of my president, President Yoweri Museveni. He has such a story. He grew up in a poor family, and they depended on cattle keeping. They didn't have so much, But he was able to get an education. And when he was aspiring to be president, a lot of people laughed at him. I hear those stories. But he's the president for the last almost 40 years. So right there, we know that our stories of suffering are the recipe to our success in the future. All we have to do is to make sure we do not use, when we become successful, we do not use the success to abuse the people, like what I have seen with my current government. So where is my inspiration exactly for my work in the community? I also realize where I come from, that women are not doing enough to contribute to the well-being of the nation. And I have also gotten criticism whenever I say this, because Uganda is one country that has put a good number of women in parliament and in some good offices. And they usually say, but we have women in leadership and we have women in these offices. Why are you saying women are not doing enough? And I have so many reasons. I noticed that most of the women in those offices and in parliament are not able to speak from their heart. They're not able to speak against the ills of the society. They're not able to question the status quo. They are only there to uphold the destructive patriarchy, and they are there to work as spies and protectors of the destruction. And I said this with a lot of conviction because I've seen it with my eyes. And when I went to the village level, where there are uneducated women who are surviving by planting some beans or groundnuts, they are the ones who highly participate in the bribery. They are the ones who receive probably $1 or half a dollar to vote for the wrong leaders. And they line up in big numbers and they receive that little money. These people, sometimes they don't have salt in their homes. Sometimes they don't have soap. Sometimes the children are not going to school. And when they get sick, they don't get proper medical attention. And when they are pregnant, they don't get proper maternal care. But they are not able to stand on their feet and on their ground and demand for what is right. They actually participate highly in demanding for half a dollar to vote a wrong leader. So 3 months ago, I was able to take part in the parliamentary campaigns. I offered myself there. I said, I'm going to run this for this short period of time to get the experience. And what I saw there is disheartening. And it is sad to say that the woman who looks like she is dormant is very active in contributing to the destruction of the society because of her silence, her inaction, and they have also been sold this big picture. They tell them that a woman is supposed to be in that place. So if they're in the kitchen and cooking and bowing down and kneeling, we have a culture of kneeling here because women are going to kneel before killers, corrupt men, liars. They will kneel before them just because they are men. So I said, there is so much that is lacking in what we need to do to educate the woman and to make her realize and remember her role. And this also led me to write a book. I have authored a book that I call The Killing of the Queen. And this book is also on Amazon. But the story in this book is nothing short of how the destruction of the woman has happened from the days of colonialism. What led the African woman to be the type of woman she is now? And when I talk about women in my age and those who are younger than me, it is even more disheartening because it is very hard for me to get women in my age and women younger than me sitting with me for this conversation in Uganda. A lot of them are doing prostitution. And you may ask, how can you say they are doing prostitution? Can you show us the pictures? And I will tell you that I know exactly what these women are doing. They are not able to be married. A lot of them are rendered single mothers. A lot of them are selling themselves for jobs. A lot of them are living for domestic work in the Middle East. A lot of them are raped. And so many of them are openly prostituting themselves to get some money to survive. And this is the kind of distraction that the system has given the woman. And it is so hard for us to see this for what it is. Because we have this confusion where men and women are pit against each other because we are trying to find who is wrong, who is right. But we fail to see the bigger picture of how the system designed to destroy the woman so that she stops seeing things for what they are and she stops making her contribution. So in my book, I also talk about the ancient woman, what the woman used to be in the past, because the woman in the past was very, very instrumental and central in every governance of the African land. Right now, as we speak, many decisions, many agreements are made without the consent of the women. Whereas the decisions taken largely impact the woman's life and her children, the women are kept out of the decision-making process. And when I said this with a lot of conviction because I've seen it happening. There is a woman in Uganda, I will not mention, who was in leadership, and she testified before court and said, I signed those papers without reading them. And the implication is she was ordered to sign by the higher powers. And the higher powers are the patriarchs of Uganda. And I am trying my best to show women that we probably are where we are as a nation because we, the women, haven't done our part. And the time is just right now that we all stand up and start asking the right questions and start making our contribution and stop telling the men or telling the people in leadership that they have done wrong when we are doing nothing about it. A lot of things are going wrong here. And I can tell you that if the women all woke up and said, we want to see the change, change would come. But they are the ones who are maintaining and safeguarding the distraction. I was on radio last Saturday, and when I spoke about these things, I was attacked by the woman first. There were 4 men and 1 woman. She attacked me first and said, what are you talking about? Stop putting women down because we are in leadership. She was unable to see what I was talking about, or she did not want to see it because she's a beneficiary of the system. And this is exactly where I am coming from. So when I realized all of these things, I said the best thing I need to do is go in the community and start making my little contributions to impact the local person, the suffering person, because I relate so much with them. So I have been serving in the marginalized villages of Uganda, especially in Mbarara and Bushenyi, and I've been empowering women in making sure that they understand these things I'm speaking about, and also supporting them in their small projects that they are doing to get an income in their homes, and supporting those who are doing poultry, supporting those who are planting some food, and supporting those who are doing some weaving, and those who are doing pottery, and those who are also making some pads, and those who are making soap. I've supported different groups of women in Uganda who are doing that. Then I've also gotten an opportunity to serve in the refugee settlements. For the last 2 years, I have focused on the refugee settlements, serving the people that are affected by wars, and most of them definitely being women who have been left alone because their men have been killed or the men have left them, and they are left with no land and no income and no hopes, and they have to raise the children. So I have seen firsthand the impact of the women's silence. Because when I reached in the settlement, I said, when the wars are being decided, it's the men on the table. When the war has happened, it's the women in the camp You know, when you visit the camp, like the first thing that will strike your eyes is the suffering woman. She has all these babies with her, or she is pregnant, and she's in a place that cannot allow her to even have the right mental state. And I saw that with my eyes. And I started very many programs there to rehabilitate women, mental health programs to rehabilitate them, as well as providing some medicine. So I was doing mobile medical clinics where I would take doctors there and they would look at these people and help them the way they can. And the other thing I realized, like when you're doing the kind of work I'm doing, you don't really get supported. The government doesn't notice you. No one cares because what you're doing is very unpopular. You know, the suffering people are left to suffer. And it's not something people want to discuss. And when you even get stories of organizations embezzling so much money that is supposed to help the people, your heart even breaks them more. So these stories on my way as I was doing this kind of work are very disheartening. And it's the reason I said, you know, I cannot just keep in the sidelines watching these things happen and just feeling this pain. I have to come out and speak. And what is the best way to speak than joining the presidential race? Because I need the best platform there can be for me to be able to speak about these things. So this is where I'm coming from, and this is the reason why I'm unbreakable, because you won't break a person that's made out of steel. Like the experience I've had from childhood makes me so strong that my resolve cannot be easily broken. So right here as we are talking, I am still so much trying to show African women that the kind of redemption we need, whether it's Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, Nigeria, UK, or America, the kind of redemption that the Black person needs is going to be very well effected if the women wake up. And that's what we need to do.
Wow. Oh, thank you so, so much, Sister Brenda. You know, I actually feel your conviction there, and people in the chat do as well. I just feel that you're carrying a huge burden. You're carrying a burden for the woman. You know, you've seen the suffering of the woman in those camps, in their homes, trying to raise their children and their family, you know, under a system that isn't really doing all that it could be doing and ought to be doing to support the women. And then, you know, as you've been telling us as well, it's as if the women don't even realize, you know, because I suppose the miseducation, they don't realize the importance of their role and how they could actually be an instrumental change in society, and how, you know, their participation could enable that change to happen so much faster. You are an absolute gem, you know, Sister Brenda, for the works you're doing. Let me see. Brother Kwame Oboje says that, Sister Brenda, you get my support, he says. You get my support as well. He goes on to say that they can shake you, but they can never break you. And he's calling on the brothers to stand up for our sisters. Indeed, you know, Brother Kwame, because, you know, when he was telling the stories there, my Sister Brenda, you know, I just see that same pattern, even in the Gambia where I am. You know, the women are the ones who tend to be, you know, getting up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, going to the farm, you know, to plant whatever they're planting or to water their crops. And then they come back home and they're there to prepare the breakfast for their children and their husband, if their husband is at home. And then they take the children to school. And then, you know, they'll take the babies to the marketplace with them to sell some of their crops. And then they'll leave there to pick the children up and prepare the meal for the husband and the children. And the husband may not even be working or doing anything. And then you know, they're probably out again most of the night selling, because if they haven't made enough money to send the children to school, to buy the important school shoes or whatever else that's needed, you know, it tends to fall on the shoulder of the woman to do all of those things. And so we do know that we're living in a society, you know, where the women tend to be the ones who are looking after the home and looking after the children. And so when there's war, it's the women who are left running with the children. I don't know where these men run off to, but, you know, I suppose they're the ones in the boats and trying to cross the channel, or the ones who are crossing the borders and trying to get a new life. But the women are left with the children. And as you've witnessed, in these civil war situations, end up in these concentration camps, where, you know, there's hardly any provision provided for them at all. And when you consider, as your book suggests, you know, the killing of the Queen, you know, the important role of the woman is just not recognized in today's society. In ancient times, as you said, in ancient times, it was the women who were ruling. And I remember reading even today, you know, that women were ruling for tens of thousands of years, and there was no mention of any wars. You know, they were matriarchal society. Yeah, the women goddesses. The Black woman was the goddess that was the figure, you know, that was worshipped in ancient times, from the Venus figures to the right down to the Madonnas, the Black Madonnas. The woman, the African woman, was revered because of the important role and the heart that she has for her people. You know, if the woman is supported, and the children are supported, these are the children that are going to be the men of tomorrow. But if the woman is supported and her back is bent from the pressures, you know, she isn't going to be able to do the job that she needs to do to make sure that those children grow up to be the powerful, strong leaders and men that they need to be for tomorrow. And every child, especially the boys, need that guiding father figure as well. So it all starts in the home. The home is critical. You destroy the Black family, you destroy the Black community. You destroy the Black community, you destroy the Black nation. And this is why, you know, the powers and the forces that want to destroy our race tend to attack the family, split up the family, cause war and havoc so that the family has to split. And we're also in a male-dominated society, and we're talking from a woman's perspective today, fellas. You know, you need to put your queens back on the throne, okay? Because when we get money, we now go run out and buy big car and big this and big that. When we get money, we're making sure there's food on the table, that the children get a good education, that the community is looked after. You know, our hearts are in a different place. And that's why balance, the Mahatian balance, is so, so critical, because we come with the emotional side, and the men are there with the strength and with the role to protect, you know, as well as contribute towards providing. And so the role of the men is so, so important. Let's see what my sister Karen is just giving you your roses. She's giving you your flowers. In the chat, Sister Karen says, you know, please leave your contact info for our Sister Brenda. Okay, let me know if you want me to leave your email or your WhatsApp. I can post it in the chat, or you can contact people individually. Let us know, sis, because there are people in the chat who are feeling your heart and want to probably help.
You can give them my WhatsApp. You can give them my WhatsApp. They can contact me whenever they can. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'll put your WhatsApp in the chat. So get ready for that, family. I'll be posting that in a little while. Brother Kwame says our sisters worked their blood and sweat, especially as market sellers. Tell me about it, Brother Kwame. All over Africa, you know, it's the women who are doing the backbone of the work to feed the nation. You know, like I said, the women on the whole are the farmers, the women are the market sellers, the women are the ones who are cooking the food for the nation, the people, the women, you know, looking after the children and bringing them up. Come on, men, we need you. We can't do it on our own. And here we are in a society where we have the men in positions of power, and they're siphoning off the money and bribing, the women who don't know any better so that they can continue with their embezzlement. We don't need this to happen. Karen saying they don't show the positive black men. Yes, we know that there are good black men out there doing a good job. And thank you for reminding me, Brother Kwame Abaje's in the house. He's a staunch, man, Pan-Africanist man who's got the back of the woman, and we need more of our men to step up and show the way. Men, you are the ones who've got to be running the businesses. You are the ones who've got to be establishing family businesses, just like back in the day where we had the men who were specialists in the agricultural sector, those who were specialists in the mining sector, those who were specialists, in the fishing industry, those who were specialists, have your area of specialism, develop, on a large scale, scale up so that we've got the manufacturing companies, scale up so that we've got the factories, scale up so we could be providing jobs and opportunities for people so that they don't have to be leaving the country and risking their life to leave to find greener pastures, or so that they don't are not persuaded to join these rogue armies. We need family businesses. Ricky J says, do you have a website, Sister Brenda? And have you AfriNet?
I have a website for my organization, the one that I work with in the community. That's the website I have.
Okay, and give us the website address, please, my sis.
It is called Telemed CBO at Telemed. This is the email. Telemedcommunity.org. I think I need to I can share it in the chat. Can I share it in the chat?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. And spell it for me and I'll look it up. TELE, is it Tele, TELE?
TELEMED community.org.
Okay, family, I hope you got that. Let's see if I can try and find it. Oh, might help us spell it right. telemedcommunity.org. Okay, our sister's going to post that in the chat, and when I get that, I will post it in your chat.
Okay, I'm going to share it in the chat. I'll share a link to my YouTube. I'll share, let me just share it right now.
Brilliant. Are you sharing it on YouTube?
Yes, I'm on YouTube too. So this is Telemed Community.
I've got it. I've managed to find it here. Shall I share?
Yes, please go ahead.
What's going on here? Okay. So I've lost my
yeah, so I've shared as well. Let me also share my WhatsApp number, then I'll share the link to the book.
Yes, please do. So you'll get that, family. You might get it twice, but twice is better than not at all. And there you have it. All right, you're sharing it in this chat.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm writing the phone number now. It's on WhatsApp. You can just drop me a message.
Okay.
That's the number. Then let me get the link to the book.
Oh, brilliant. Yes. So the WhatsApp is +256 755
Yes.
068
Yes.
253.
253. Exactly.
So
that's
family,
correct.
if you want to support the works that our sis is doing on the ground in Uganda, get in touch via WhatsApp. Check out the website and have a look at what our beautiful sis, is doing. Okay, let me see if I can bring up this PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to try some of the pictures. Hopefully my web will allow me to do so. I want you to see some of the pictures of the works our sis has been doing. Okay, family? There we go. There it is there. Let's share that and go over to slideshow. Okay, that's going to come up in just a little while, family. First of all, you're going to see the image of our sister's book, The Killing of the Queen. This is what it looks like. Beautiful front cover as well. But very importantly, you know, it makes it clear that, you know, you kill the woman, you kill the family. You kill the family, you kill the community. Sis, do you want to just say a little bit about your book there?
Yeah. This book exposes the profound truth hidden beneath centuries of patriarchal dominancy. It ignites a revolution to reclaim the power of the divine feminine. Through a profound exploration of existing power structures, the book dismantles entrenched patriarchy, not only to achieve equality, but also to usher in a necessary shift in the world paradigm. I echo a clarion across continents to awaken women worldwide to rise against the status quo, and the sound of the drums resonates, and mindful of who takes offense or faces repercussions. Unrelenting and unstoppable, the divine feminine must surge forth to shatter the chains of oppression. So I'm borrowing words from the back of the book, but basically what I want to speak about the book is it's very painful. It's very painful for me to think about what inspires me to write this book. Sister Shanice, you have broken down a bit of what I wrote. The destruction and the killing of the queen started in the family. And it's destroying the woman the more in the family. Once she's destroyed in the family, she's never going to rise up. So, and we have to realize also that we definitely cannot be blaming the man for our man for what has happened. It has been a systemic design to destroy the Black family by destroying the woman first, because the woman gives birth to the man. So whatever we could say to blame the man, we have to remember we raise him. We are the ones who raise him. So it means if we call him a monster, we have raised the monster, you know?
Yes.
So it means our work to restore balance and harmony is so much more. And it's not going to take ice cream prayers. It's definitely going to take tough work. You know, we have to do things that we don't think we can do. We have to volunteer and put ourselves forward and say, we are fixing this. So what I am doing here in Uganda, I am speaking about the things that are forbidden, you know, the things you're not supposed to speak about. You're asking questions you're not supposed to ask, because no one asks those questions because they will kill you. So I am asking those questions, and I'm saying, if we, the mothers, don't ask these questions, who will? The children who are being kidnapped every day are our children. The killings and the detentions without trial that we see every day, those are our children. If the mothers stay silent, how will this end up? And I take great examples. I take great examples from some of the queens who fought so hard in the 90s, like Winnie Mandela. I have, yes, I've paid homage to Winnie Mandela in this book. I think she has like 3 pages there. And I am talking about what she went through being Mandela's wife, and loving the struggle for liberation more than she even loved her marriage, because she knew She knew that her marriage and her children have nowhere to rest when she's gone if the nation is not well. So she sacrificed everything every woman would want in a marriage just to be on the front lines to save South Africa. And I remember her words when she said, I have no regret because we did it. And if I would have a chance to do it again, I would. That was a woman. That was a woman that gave no excuses. She was willing to lose it all to save the nation. And right now, we look up to her. We want to emulate her. And we are seeing most of our women being emasculated. And we don't want that to happen. And this is why we are here. So this book, for me to write this book, I say in the book, I say that I was receiving spiritual downloads. And I can tell you that that's exactly what happened. So some of my words may not be pleasant to the ear because they were not exactly, like really, really exactly coming from me. And I said, this is the timely message that's needed now, and we can only back it up with our works. Not just a matter of I just wrote a book and I need people to read it. And I don't even think people are reading it.
Well, family, everybody watching, please do try and get a copy of this book. It's very reasonably priced. You know, please get a copy. It says only 3 left in stock, but I know Amazon, you know, actually print on demand. So you will be able to get, you know, a copy of this book. Let's everybody get a copy of the book and leave a positive and constructive 5-star feedback as well for our sister Brenda. Yeah, we must get a copy of this book. Every single one of us, you know. Let's go on to, let me see if I can go on to the next slide. There's a lot happening here. I've got 3 images here. In the first image, I can see some women bending down around the sewing machine. Tell us about, I mean, now, family, we're going to be seeing some examples of the works that our sister Brenda does in the community. She doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the talk. But let me come back to Brenda in just a second. I want to rise up. I Can Fire in the house. He said, Miss Brenda must have taken the red pill. I take it the red pill is the superwoman pill. You must have taken that one. Brother Kwame says, Mama Winnie wasn't only our warrior, but our queen mama. Yes, indeed. He says, Mama Winnie Mandela, my queen mama. And it's a beautiful cover. Sister Karen is admiring your book cover. I love it as well. And, you know, Brother Kwame says, Sister Brenda, I have to be honest with you. Some of our brothers are guilty of selling out against our sisters. Our brothers are the head of the family without any excuses. You know, I look forward to the day when every single one of our brothers takes on their role and responsibility as head of the household. But you know what, my sis, I just want to touch on, if, you know, the woman is in the house doing the best she can to bring up that boy child, and he is seeing that his mother is the head of the house because maybe his father is not playing his role or is not there, you know, is he not then likely to just, you know, replicate the role of his father? Isn't he just going to behave the way his father behaved? You know, I know you said if we're the ones bringing up the boys, if we bring up a monster, then we're responsible. And to a large extent, I agree with that. But, you know, a lot of our children, you know, they emulate what they see. They copy what they see. The men are behaving badly. If the man they must smoke weed and just lying out, sitting out on street corners, isn't that what the children are going to grow up and do? But if they grow up in a household where the man is there, he's the provider, he's going out to work, or he's running his business, he's looking after the family, isn't that more likely to be what that boy child, when he grows up to become a man, is going to be doing? Let's have that little bit of a conversation, because, you know, I so want us to be able to, you know, make the changes that we want to see. And it does come with, I think, building strong families. But can we be building strong families today if society, has taken the men out of the house for whatever reason? You know, let's have that little bit of a discussion. Sister Brenda.
I want to categorically state that there is a reason why I'm saying that the women should take leadership. We are at a very critical time where we need women to take leadership. And why am I saying this? Right, the woman in the family, in the home, is suffering, raising the young boys alone. The boys don't have a father figure. And we shouldn't generalize and say all the men have failed. There are so many good Black men that have done their best.
Yes.
And I can say that I wouldn't count my dad among the men that have failed as heads of the family. And I think that's why he's even here watching me, because he pushes me. Yeah.
Yeah.
He pushes me. He tells me, I don't want you to just sit there and do nothing. You have to do your best as long as you're alive. I'm like,
good fathers are great. Good fathers are invaluable. Men, know this. Even if you don't have any money, love that you can give to your children is invaluable. Speaking encouraging words into the life of your children, it's just, again, you can't put a value on it. Sister Brenda.
Now I learned something from my dad, because there are very many instances in my growing up and in my life and in our family where my dad has like blandly asked me to take leadership. Like he has told me, he said, we are going to do this, we are thinking about it, but Brenda, I want to hear what you have to say. Or sometimes he says, you have to lead this. Like he shows you that you have something that he may not have as a dad, because he understands there are gifts in a woman, there are gifts in a girl that the society need to acknowledge and put to use, And we have done some of the most amazing things at my home because of my dad's cooperation. Like he trusts that his children are able to do some things, and he supports and pushes them to do those things. And he's very understanding. So like we still have some of those good men, but the sad part is the majority of the men are not that nice. And they are actually a distraction, and they are a hindrance to the growth of the children in their households. And in that very sense, in that very light, is where I am telling the woman, you had better take leadership now. I am not saying the men shouldn't be in leadership, but I'm saying we are at a very critical moment. If the women don't rise up and take leadership and fix this mess, nobody will. I walk and work in a very male-dominated environment. It is very easy for me to find myself in a congregation of 30 men and I'm the only woman voice there. Very easy. And the things I see there, with my eyes tell me that we cannot achieve any progress if we do not create the balance. This balance is very much needed. We need the sisters to balance the males so that we can create this harmonious symphony for us to be able to take our world forward. So before that happens, because I don't see men standing up and saying, women, please, we need you. I don't see it happening. The women must realize that this is a critical moment where they are needed to rise up and fix our world fast.
Yes.
So when you are able to fix the world, when you are able to fix the mess, then you will raise boys who will know how to behave. You will raise boys who will not behave like their fathers, because you cannot say that this young boy is going to become like the father because the father is not a great example. You didn't raise this man. You didn't raise him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you check well, the woman who raised him to be what he is. That is why most of the times when women go to their mother-in-laws to present
Mm-hmm.
issues in their families, the mother-in-laws side with their sons.
Mm-hmm.
So when the son is in wrong, the mother-in-law will not say, "I think you're wrong here." Most of the times they will say, Don't touch my son." So
Mm-hmm.
it means that as we raise young boys, we have a lot to do on them. We have a lot to impart in them to make sure they will not be the monster that will destroy the woman in future. So this is our role. So I'm saying
The role it is.
people who may probably think that we need power so much, that probably these women need power so much, they want to overthrow the man. This is not what it is.
No.
We
Oh no.
need the word that works for us. We need the word that works for us. And if it means the women rising up to fix it, that's what we should do, because we are living it at a very critical moment in time.
Yes, indeed. Let's go over to the pictures. Tell us a little bit about the works that you're doing on the ground, as we can see in the pictures here, please, my sis.
So I have, you can see in those pictures, women doing some weaving. So what we do is we provide them with training. We take teachers to them, or we call them trainers. And these trainers train them in doing pads. Like there they are able to make pads for themselves, because you realize that menstrual hygiene is a problem. And also a lot of them cannot manage to pay to buy those pads. So when they have the knowledge and the machinery, they are able to make those pads and probably live a much better life. So we do that by moving to the villages. Like, we don't make these women to move from Sofa because they don't have the ability to. So what we do is we just visit this village and have this group of women, and then find an open space where they can do the training. And then we let them have the machine. Yeah.
Brilliant. And hopefully alongside that training, there is the empowerment training as well, the changing of the mindset, trying to make the women realize the importance of their role in today's society, as you've been saying. Rise Up, Brother Kwame is repeating, sisters, I have your back. Sisters, free your voices. Our sisters gave birth to our brothers, but most of our brothers are irresponsible. Our brothers disrespect our sisters via sisters disrespect our men. So we're disrespecting each other. So we have got to change and got to be the change that we want to see. I Can Fire says, the woman trained every mind when he was a boy. Think about it, Miss Brenda is right. The woman is the one who trains the mind of the boys. Yes, I think to a large extent that is true. But in the UK, I'm only too aware of the external influences that is there and the distractions that are there that tries to take the mind and shape the mind of our people. We've got religion shaping the minds of our, we've got the miseducation system shaping the minds of our people. We've got the mainstream media with their magazines. We've got the celebrity world that's shaping the minds of our people. We've got there's tough competition out there for the minds of our children. And it takes a strong household, a balanced household, to be able to raise our children right. And so there's no getting away with it. We need the Black man and the Black woman raising the Black children together. No two ways about it. I Can Fire says, no Black woman wants to read this book, I'm sure. I'm a Black woman, and I certainly intend to get and I will be reading that book. So you're very wrong there, I Can. We need to understand, what's in that book and the importance of our role during these times. I suppose over time, there's different things are going on. We don't know if, for those thousands of years when the women were ruling, if they didn't have to take on that role of being in the leadership roles and the rulership roles for a reason. You know, maybe the men were warring among themselves and fighting among themselves. Look at those two leaders in Sudan today. Look at the destruction and the hell that they're causing. Why do you know, Sudan is rich enough, more than rich enough for both of them, you know, to rule jointly and to share it, and more than enough, you know, for the people to benefit from those riches as well. You know, but because of greed, they're fighting each other and have been for so many years now. And look at the death toll and the destruction and the blood that has been shed. No. You know, we need to be reading that book, and we need to fix up, and we need to step up as women. That's what I'm thinking right now. Rise Up Karen, she's been to your website and has already checked it out and is interested to know, you know, if you have a YouTube or other social media contacts as well. So Sister Brenda, please put your other social media contacts in the chat as well. And Sister Karen says, please be a father figure to some of these children with absent male role models. And you know what, Sister Karen, it just reminds me of back in the days, actually, you know, when we had that saying, it takes a village to raise a child, you know, in those instances where there wasn't a father in the house, there would be a father figure. And that father figure would be the uncle or the grown cousin, you know, but there would be a man who knew that he had a responsibility to help bring up that child. I don't know to what extent that is true in households today, but it certainly was the case back in the day. Kwame says, Sister Karen, it's up to our brothers to shape up these critics who discriminate against our African males, because there are our brothers that are lawyers, doctors, engineers, and architects. Yes, indeed. You know, there are many Black men out there doing really well. Kate Safar, it's good to have you in the house as well, joining us during your lunch break. She says, with the guidance of you and the researchers you feature, I'm looking to providing as an American family man and bring balance. Kate Safar is a man. Rise up, my beloved brother. He says, I'm looking to provide, you know, an African family, providing as an African family man, balance. He's looking to bring balance, and it's changed my view of life for the better. Wow. My sister, I've lost you for a little while here. Hopefully you are there behind the scenes. Oh, excellent. Kate Safar has already said that he's looking forward to being the provider of an African family. He's going to be that man of the family, and he's going to be bringing balance. And he's saying that this conversation has changed his view of life for the better. Thank you so much, Kate Safar.
Thank you so much.
Let's go to the next slide. Okay. The next slide. Please share with us. Tell us what are you doing here in this slide? What's happening?
In that slide, you can see children. You can see me standing with them. So I visit schools and I take mentorship programs. And that's a primary school that I had visited in the first picture. And I am talking to these youngsters and listening to them. And it's interesting, when you speak to them, you realize these young people are very easy to get. They easily get you, and they are very easy to get. So it tells you that the kind of decolonization and re-education we have to do must start with these youngsters. And every time I visit them, they tell you, when are you coming back? And when you come back, they remind you of the things you spoke about in the previous visit.
Wow.
Yes, and I just think that we are lacking enough educators who should get these children at this age, because this is the age. Actually, this is the age where you raise the boys, because most of the boys at that age have already witnessed how their fathers disrespect their mothers, beating them in front of them, threatening them, using violent language, and overworking them. And
Uh-huh.
when they have seen that at that age, it's so hard to teach them otherwise, because they will
Yes,
think that's the right thing to do. And you
yeah.
have to break them at this stage. And this is usually what I do. And when I asked them a random question. I said, what do you want to be when you leave school? And a young girl put her hand up and she said, I want to be the president. And that really excited me. I said, we
Oh,
are
wow.
here. I said,
Yeah,
the queens are right here, the
yeah.
princesses. Yeah. So in the picture on the side, that's a classroom.
Just to interject there, I would really want to know, what they would want to achieve as a president. What changes would they want to bring about? What would the role, what would the country look like if they were the president?
Mhm.
And tease that.
It's interesting. It's interesting what they tell you, because once you start getting deep with them, they will tell you, if I was president, our school would have clean running water. They already know what they are going through, and
Oh,
they, yeah, and they think they just need to be in power for them to fix all of the mess that they see. Because I actually told them, because we were talking towards lunchtime, and they told me, we don't break off for lunch because there's no food at home. That
oh,
was a school. That was a school
oh,
in the refugee settlement. So they said, we
oh,
don't break off, because even if we go home, there's no food. So we stay around for the next lessons, and then
uh-huh.
we go in the evening when we can have a cup of porridge. So it
Mm,
was sad. And now the girl who said, I want to be president, is telling that story, and she shows you that if I was president, these things wouldn't be like this.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, and the other thing that we do is, in the picture on the side, is we teach, like, there are those children who are like dropouts that don't have the
yeah,
chance to go to school. And what we do is, like, you give them a literacy level. Like,
yeah,
you give them a teacher, get them a classroom, and they are able to read and write. Like, they attain a level of literacy where they can be able to write their names or read a sentence, even if they are not getting this really formal education. And then
yeah,
after this, you direct them towards taking vocational studies, where they can learn a skill, like in tailoring, carpentry, and things
yeah.
like that. So this is the kind of work we do with the young children, and I can assure you that it's empowering for most of them. It's
Brilliant.
empowering for most of them, because you can see the smiles on their faces when you engage, and you can
Yeah.
truly see that you're really impacting them in the best way.
Oh, you know
So,
what? I wish I
mhm,
was there. Wish I was there. Sort of thing that I love and enjoy to do as well. And I'm sure some of our family who are watching, could see themselves in that picture as well. You're doing an amazing job because, getting to the minds of our young people, speaking to our children and shaping their minds from a young age is so critical. It's so important. All of us, most of us remember, that teacher, that adult, that said something in our life, that switched on that light bulb, that made us think, yeah, when I grow older, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And so leaving those children with a can-do spirit and a can-do attitude is phenomenal. There's another picture here with more children at the school by the looks of it. Let's go on to this one here. Okay, are you coming back?
yes, it's the same. It's the same. That's children in the classroom, and they're having a lesson, and it's the same with what we do with them. And one thing you realize is, when you speak to these children and share a story, an empowering story, or listen to their stories, there's a big
Yeah,
difference than when you speak to the women in the villages. When you speak to the women and men in the villages, they give you an impression that some of the things you're speaking about are impossible. And they tell you, we have grown here, we have witnessed this, it's so hard to do this. Some of these things are so hard to attain, and you can't even change their mindsets, because, like, long years of indoctrination, long years of emasculation, long years of pain and suffering has really impacted their mental capacities and abilities. And they are looking at some of the things, some of the possibilities they are thinking they are very impossible. And as opposed to when you speak to the children, there are lots of possibilities in their eyes, in their words, in their expressions. Like they show you that what you're telling them is very, very, very possible. And they want to live it. Like immediately, they want to live it. And the beaming smiles they give you tell you exactly what's on their heart. And I know that for sure this is my country, Uganda, but I know that there is very, very little investment in children and school-going age students. Very little investment. They are only sold things they watch on TV, in the media, the fashion and music. That's the only thing that they know. You will easily find a school of children of this age, all of them dancing to the latest music on the scene, and probably the music is even very destructive to their mind, and there's nothing they are learning from there, but they are being offered that as the only role model in their society. And I find that we talk about very many things, definitely. We talk about engineering, we talk about farming, we talk about medicine, we talk about, like this young girl who said, I want to be president. But we don't really provide these young children with the right role models for those very things they should aspire to be. Like the only role model is the famous musician on TV who is probably shaking their bums for the girls. And you don't realize the kind of seduction and damage it is doing to the young girl of this age.
It's deliberate. It's deliberate.
deliberate.
It's the entertainment industry that's been hijacked now, and we're no longer the ones that control it, who set the policies, who determine, what music, etc., is going to reach the ears of our children and what videos they're going to see. So, it's a deliberate movement now, to sexualize our children from a young age, to incorporate within the industry, the sorts of scenes that we would disapprove of. It's been hijacked. Our entertainment industry has been hijacked, and we need to take it back and take control of it, because we are the creative artists in that industry.
And also, because we are talking about this topic in a broader perspective, because we are saying, why are the men the way they are? Why are they very, very dangerous? Like some of the men are dangerous to their homes, to their women and children. And the answer is, these are the men who are raised by this society, which is meant to emasculate them. Giving them the wrong role models and pointing them in the direction of sport and play. They don't have, they are not pointed to the right direction of being a real man. And talking about things like governance, if the men are not able to stand up and speak about the governance of the nation, of the land, then what are they for? Because this is the leadership we speak about. So how is he going to be a leader in the home when he's behaving like these days they say he's behaving like a princess when he's outside? And we also talk about the very leaders we have in power, the the way they behave before the colonial master. Like right here, right here, we look at him and we bow, and we all want to shake his hand, and we all think he's a great man. And the next thing, he's bowing before Bill Gates because there's some money involved. He's acting like he is not the kind of leader we envisioned. He's not able to negotiate the right deals for the nation. He's not able to defend the nation when our minerals are being stolen.
Embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
So he is, isn't it? And this is the man who's supposed to be protecting the nation, providing for the nation, building his nation. He's meant to be the backbone of the nation, and then he's like a mouse when he goes abroad. Very humiliating and embarrassing. Absolutely agree. And again, you're reinforcing the power of the entertainment industry to shape the minds of our children. And again, why it's so important, for us in the home, again, to try and control how much access our children have to the entertainment world, because it's very destructive to their mind.
We definitely don't have to do only that. We also have to shape the entertainment industry to make sure it is not, it is not a danger. Because right here, you have this platform as Sister Shanice, and we have TV programs, and we are able to make TV programs that are supposed to foster the proper growth of our children. But our children depend on foreign programs. And this is Africa. This is Africa. We cannot say we have run short of what to show our children the kind of entertainment they need. But we are not doing enough. And again, it all takes a great leadership. I was speaking with a friend from Dubai, and he was saying, you see, when you come to Dubai, the first thing you see is a very nice scenery of buildings and roads and all of these great things. Like when you see Dubai, you see greatness. And then he said, but Dubai was a desert. Dubai is built on a desert. He says, for Uganda, you have everything it takes to create a heaven right there. So you cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that there is something you lack, or you lack money or something. You just lack a good leadership. Your leadership fails you all the time. So even as we speak about these things, to think about the entertainment industry, what our children consume, the curriculum in the school, the governance or the leadership is able to make changes where necessary if it wanted. The fact that they are not doing it, is just a deliberate move to keep the people where they are.
Volumes.
And also that they have to please the imperialists who have to pay. The imperialists do pay for our states of affairs to remain the way they are. I was also talking about charities in the same way. I said most charities, you hear the World Food Program and all of these things, UNICEF, things like that, they want to stay in Africa forever. That is why the poverty image will keep up. The poverty image must be maintained and protected and safeguarded, because these organizations must stay here. If they would eradicate poverty, then they will have no job here. But they have to keep taking your money, doing nothing. And I was asking these very questions, even in the refugee settlement. I said, what are these guys doing here when the people look like this? These are my questions. How can I be able to do so much with so little?
Right.
And the people who have the funding are not able to make the changes that are necessary here. And no wonder they are responsible even for the unending wars, because once the wars stop, we won't have any camps.
That's right. Yes.
So that's logic.
Whilst the camps are there, the huge finances just keep pouring in, from the hearts of the people who care into their pockets. Okay? They're not using it to do what they're supposed to do. I've got an image on the screen. On the left, I've got, some beautiful queens who are sitting and probably listening to you. And then we've got a football team on the other side. Can you tell us a little bit about these two groups, please?
So the photo with the women this is one of the groups of the women that I was helping. This is specifically from a village called Kabare, the same village where I went to primary school. So when I went back, when I went back to that primary school where I used to walk barefoot to the classroom, I said, the women in this village raised me when I spoke to them. I said, definitely, what you speak about and say it takes a village.
These are women that would meet you when you mess up and they meet you on the way, they'll just spank you without asking your mother. So they did raise me. So I went back to visit them, and they have that group of around 100 of them, and they are doing some very good works in weaving, and they make some dresses and things like that. So I introduced empowerment classes where we sit and discuss their issues, and a lot of them have to do with the violence in the home and what they go through as women taking most of the burden in their homes. So we speak, and it provided them a safe space where they are able to share about the things they go through, which they have not been able to talk about, because they say, even when you go through them and you speak to someone, you speak in harsh voices because you're not supposed to speak about it. And that's how far the killing of the Queen has gone. You are not supposed to speak about it, whether you're beaten, whether you're raped, whether you're what. So I said, here is a safe space where we can properly share without fear. And sharing about these stories is the beginning of alleviating the pain and the suffering. So I really like, particularly of all the groups of women I have, I love this group because they are really solid. And their experiences are rich, considering their age and all they've been through. And I usually run to them. When I want to get more understanding of what's been going on in our community from the past. So right there they are, and I bought them a tent because they used to hire places where we sit. So I gave them a tent, and I said, that tent we used to use it to do medical outreaches. And I said, this tent now belongs to you. So they can also give it away for hire to get an income to support their group. And the boys on the side is a football team that I created. And it was also like, we were looking at the different ways that we can tackle mental health. And we said that apart from the diagnosis and the medicine, which we don't really support that much, there are things that people can engage in that would actually help a bit. So they need to have some social things like football, like singing competitions, like sitting around the fireplace or just sharing a meal, things like that. Even doing prayers. A lot of the things they can do, that when they do them together, there is something that gets lifted off of their shoulders. This team of young people, most of them are under 20 years. And they also learned how to save, because we got them the jerseys, like two sets, and some balls, and we said, you can begin there. And they have never looked back, and it makes me so happy. They have never looked back. They are doing tournaments, and they say every week each one of them is saving like $50, and they put it together to support their group. Sometimes I really feel sorry for them. I see them struggling with a lot of things, but at least they are standing, and they have found a family in each other. So that is how we are trying to help our people. If we would get like more funding, like these people would do great things together. But we are thinking that just organizing them and putting them in a group and showing them the right way in itself is enough empowerment. And we shall get there.
You're
Yes.
doing amazingly well. Here's another couple of sessions. The one on the left was like a group of young boys.
There's the one, that's the same football. On that day, they did a tournament and they did so well. And when they were seated there, they were going to share a meal. Some of the moments that really make me so happy. And on the other side is young boys. These are part of the boys who are school dropouts, as I said. So we get them some teaching aid. So right there, they were solving a puzzle where they are fixing those blocks, and after they done fixed it, I think they have a like shape of a snail, and it makes the makes them happy to see them solving a puzzle and then creating something out of it. So it was all part of the mental health exercises that we were doing to make sure that we rehabilitate a lot of this, because I can assure you, some of these boys, you could find them going to do drugs. Some of these boys before. Yeah. So we got them and we said, like, you have to be here on this day every time, every Friday, every Saturday, every Wednesday, you have to be here with us. And then we provide activities for them, and they are able to do that.
Oh, it must be
So,
the highlight of their week for some of them as well.
mhm.
So well done. So we got a poultry project going on here, and looks like a weaving project. Tell us a bit
Yes,
about that.
the poultry, that poultry project actually belongs to the group of women that we saw. And it's not just poultry that they just do chicken and eggs, but it's also a teaching center. Like, other women from different other villages can go there and learn. They can go and see how poultry is done and how the rearing starts and what you need to do. And there are very many ways. There are very many ways they are doing it, like producing really organic chicken, because they are even able to vaccinate it using organic vaccinations, And I'm
Yeah,
like, isn't this beautiful? Like, that's the chicken. They can produce that without, like, the chicken has zero chemicals in it. Zero chemicals.
we can
Yeah,
learn. We
and
can learn from them. The
mhm.
higher industry is changing now, as you know, and it's so important that we hold on to, the traditional way of doing things when we can.
Yes, and I can just say that it's amazing with the very, very poor medical system of the nation. You would probably have most of these women very sick and dying, maybe in their 40s or 50s. But do you know why they live longer? It's because for some reason they live healthier. Hmm?
Yeah,
Because they are able to do things
yeah,
using indigenous knowledge. They can grow food,
yeah,
they can rear chicken, rear goats, and like they do it all in the indigenous way, so they are
yeah,
able to produce very healthy, uncontaminated food.
yeah,
And I think it's the reason why most of them look healthy, and most of them are healthy indeed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, indeed. And
Yeah.
then we've got in the other picture some beautiful little pieces and some
Yeah,
baskets.
those are pieces of baskets, decorations, and mats that they are able to make with their hands. All of those are handmade,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's how they spend their free time. You can call it free time, but that's all they do. And then also they can sell them. They can sell some of those things for income.
yes,
And we are looking at ways of improving to make sure that we can at least help them to advance and produce really, really desirable stuff.
yeah,
But
that'll be
also the other thing is they are using local materials, because I think you can see reeds, papyrus reeds and pepper, you know, and that's all. They will use rubbish. They like technically use rubbish to create something.
wow,
Very
wow.
creative. Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if you were to partner with the tourism board, if they would, make some funds available so that the women could expand on their crafts and create things that could be sold in the tourism shops to tourists. These
Yeah.
are also partnerships we need to make. I think we've got time for maybe just one or two more slides, Sister Brenda. Um, Here we have some amazing artwork. Tell us about these pieces, please.
So these pieces of artwork are actually from a young group of refugees, in Achi Valley refugee settlement in Western Uganda. Most of them are under 19 years, and one of them, a very, very inspiring young man called Akon, created an art school. And when I met this group, I was astonished by the kind of work they do, because I myself was already having lots of young boys in the community who were looking forward to doing some fine art. And then I met this school in the settlement, and the young man is very, very articulate with what he's doing, and he has gathered those refugee children together and created a school like that. So he is like his work himself, and they are doing amazing art. So what I was doing in the past months was like supporting them, like advising them, and also trying to help them if they can get market here and there. And they
Yeah.
are trying to infiltrate the Ugandan market, and I'm doing my best to see that they can also get somewhere to get their art seen. And for me, their art tells the real story of the refugee, how they become refugees, what they go through, all the untold things. They are able to express them in art. And
Yeah.
actually, when you visit them, you can see they have an art gallery where they tell you each and every picture has a story behind it. And then they have these kids who have drawn these pictures, and the kids will come and explain exactly what the picture is about, and most of the
Yeah.
stories are connected to their kind of life and background. So it's
Yeah.
amazing, and I would wish to see like these young men get supported. Like if any one of you could order just one piece from them, I would be happy, because you would be making a great contribution to their work. And definitely
On your
that's how we
website?
empower them.
Are they on your website? Can they be purchased at your website?
They are not on my website, but I am able to connect them directly to whoever may want a piece.
Ah, right.
Yes.
So
And
definitely,
it's also, I think it's also part of the, like, if you really are helping people, just help them directly. Like, I don't really like the old system of go through
yes.
this and that and that and that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Let's buy their works, and pay them for their skills and their talents.
Yes.
Absolutely agree. So
Mhm.
this will be the final one. I know there's more. Let me see. Which one do you want to talk about? This one, this
So
one.
what you see right there, yeah, let me talk about that.
Yeah, because
That
you're
one.
making bricks here by the looks of it. This is
Let me talk
awesome.
about that. So you
Yeah,
see, there was a time, I used to speak to youth, and
yeah,
that time I had a radio show, and I used to speak about empowerment and saying, yeah, I understand there are no jobs, but still we have to work together and make sure we survive. So
yeah, you can.
I started a group of bricklaying, where I
Yeah,
have young men and women, and we go to the places where there's clay soil, we dig the soil, and then we make
yeah.
the bricks. It
Yes.
was a very tiresome exercise, but we loved it. And
Oh,
the very first brick kiln we made had around 20,000 bricks. And we used to make it with our
wow,
hands. We have those
wow.
molding containers, and we make it with our hands. And
Yeah,
the day we baked that kiln, we slaughtered a goat, like, because you're going to be outside all night
yeah,
long, because you
yeah,
must watch it as it bakes and make sure it bakes good, because if it doesn't, you won't get market.
yeah,
So we were outside the whole night baking our brick as we were munching on the roasted goat meat.
yeah,
And by morning we were all tired and we all went to rest. But the next 1 week, our
yeah,
our our kiln was bought, and
yeah.
we made some good money. Yeah, we made some good money, around $1,000 from it. And
Oh,
this money was shared among the group of the boys and the girls who were making
yeah,
the brick. And
wonderful.
a lot of them were able to buy a goat at home, a young
Oh,
cow, and start
yeah,
something at home. And they all came to me telling me, you know what? I am starting my own kiln at home. So this kind of exercise that we did together
yeah,
inspired most of them to go back
yeah.
home and they were able to do this very thing we did. They were able to do it themselves on their own.
Yes, because
Yes.
people buy those bricks, won't they, to build their houses? and it's
yes, yes.
scale up, and it's a big gift right there. It starts off like this, but can very quickly grow. I mean, I know you've got more pictures to share with us, but you know we're almost out of time now, so I'm going to stop sharing to allow you to come back and leave us with some departing remarks, and also to give our audience an opportunity, I think, to celebrate you for the good works that you're doing. And as we said, today was going to be about, you know, showcasing how we as an individual can be the difference that we want to see. And here's an example of a woman, you know, who's working at a grassroots level and impacting so many lives and making such a major difference. Wow, just imagine the number of young people that have been inspired there to start their own business, you know, just from that brick making exercise, that brick making project. So, you know, in parting, you are a superwoman, one of our superheroes, you know, and I would definitely vote for you, you know, if I was in a position in Uganda to do so. But very importantly, you are demonstrating to everybody watching, you know, the fact that we can, if we get up and go out there, we can at a grassroots level be the difference. If you wanted to say a few words to try and encourage people to either be the difference or to put their hands in their pocket, maybe even as finance those who are making a difference, or, you know, talk about how people can support, over to you, Sister Brenda.
Thank you so much. And I'm very grateful that you had me on this show. And to all the people who have been with us and really cared to listen and to watch this show, I am so, so grateful. So my parting words, I'm saying, you know, there's something I usually speak about, and it's called the purpose for living. Everyone must discover why they are here. We are here for a purpose. Our ancestors were here for a purpose. We are here for a purpose. And you must find that purpose. And if that purpose is contribute to the community in any way you can, please do it, because that's really what makes life worthwhile. So while I do everything I do, I usually always remember that I have this purpose to do, to fix what is not going right. And you shouldn't lose sight of the fact that I meet a lot of challenges on the way. So many. I don't think we can have time to speak about that. Maybe that would be a discussion for another day. The challenges are so many. The things that would discourage you are so many. The many times you feel like giving up. Sometimes you feel like, can I just stop everything and just go in? You know, those moments come. But then you realize you still have breath. And since you have breath, you have no excuse to give. So just keep pushing and just keep pushing. So as my parting words, if you want to be a contributor to my work, please reach me. I have shared my WhatsApp number. If you want to visit, you may want to say, I would also come and visit the children and talk to them and contribute this way. Please, you are welcome anytime, any day. And remember that I am also vying for the seat of the president of Uganda, because we have lost sight of that. It's very important. So I am able to talk about the things that deter us from doing the kind of work that I do. We are able to shed some light on them and to ask leadership, governance, and everyone in power to do better, because fixing the nation is part of our job. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Sister Shanice. May God bless you. You are a phenomenal woman for creating this platform. And everyone who is on chat with us tonight, really, I will be forever indebted. Thank you so much. Bye.
We thank you so much for being the superwoman you are, for being an inspiration to us and to everybody watching. Please do share the video. I want it to reach someone who can assist you in a big way. Wow, just imagine, if it was to reach the ears, the eyes, and the heart of somebody who could assist you in a major way. Wow, so that you can scale up your works on a huge level. I really hope that happens. To everyone in the chat, Brother Kwame is saying, Sister Brenda, come again. Someone will say, we want a part 2. Sister Carol say, we want a part 2. I've just posted a link that you put in the chat as well. So you've got that, family. Also, please do remember to get a copy of our Sister Brenda's book. That's another way that you can support. To everyone that's been commenting in the chat, thank you so much. Brother Kwame says our children are our future. Yes, indeed. And Sister Brenda, he said those photos are lovely. He loves your photos, and it just captures, doesn't it, the story of what you've been doing. It just brings it to life. Kate Safair says, the more luxury and access, the less I trust the place. Case in point, Hollywood, the US, Dubai, the British royal family, etc. These groups need to recognize the humanity and nature of Africa. Absolutely. And there's people who are agreeing with you and are supporting you for the work that you're doing with our young people. Thank you so much. Sister Brenda, it's been a pleasure having you on this platform, and I do look forward to you coming back again in the future, where we can share with our people more of the great works that you are doing in the community. This is a sister who's promoting literacy in the schools. She's providing mentorship programs for our young people. She's empowering our young people. She's working with the women in the community as well, there in Uganda, giving the lessons, bringing the lessons to the villages. It's not about the villagers having to come to where she is. She's actually bringing the lessons to the people, which is beautiful. Even helping them to learn how to sew sanitary pads, to make all sorts of furniture. You didn't see those pictures, but to make furniture out of wicker as well. Sewing classes, so much, making bricks as well. Supporting the women in the refugee camps. So those of you who may have come late and didn't hear about those stories as well, there are thousands of women in Uganda, women and children in refugee camps, and our sister goes into those camps to work with and to support our people. My sis, we love you. We thank you so much for the works that you're doing. I hope others have been inspired by you today. And, our hope is that, we will be able to support you in the works that you're doing. So family, if you want to reach out to our Sister Brenda, she's posted her contact details in the chat. If you want to reach her through me as well, you know where you can hook me up. So all being well, we will be back next strong. So stay powerful, peace and love to each and every one of you. Do the works that you can do. It's up to us, the grassroots, to be the change that we want to see. Those who serve foreign interests are not going to be doing it for us. So feel empowered, people. More love, more strength. Thank you, sis. Bye for now.
You are welcome, sister. You are welcome.
Thank you.
And bye.
Out of here. Bye for now. How do I say bye in your language?
Olaleje. At this time of the night, Olaleje.
Olaleje. Olaleje.